Good morning, YouTubers, Godzoners. This is a quick video to my brother No and I guess Sis Bets as well. As to the trouble we're all having connecting on the God Zone, it would seem that it seems like no matter what we type or say to one another, there is grief or dissension or something along those lines that keeps interfering. Bro No End, I guess I'll address this to you. You say that Bets, if Blaine and Vala do not care enough about you to address your problems, feel free to continue with the disillusional, paranoid, schizophrenic ramblings of your passive-aggressive disorder and follow the peeping of the spirits and the oppression that are oppressing you. Go get help. What you say or do in the meantime is of no concern or effect on me. I could care less about those prone delusions, follow delusions. They all spin their own web, as always. And then you call her a nut. Now, I wanted to kind of confront this out of all the things that have been said, because it points out that you're not in your normal behavior. Sis Bet seems to think that you're not in your normal behavior because you're not the same person. You're actually somebody who works for a company who tries to get people to say things that can be misconstrued as a crime and log those things that will be used against Christians as a form of evidence against them. What I wanted to say to you about that is it does appear that sometimes you definitely say things that's out of your character. Now, do I believe you're one of these guys gaining evidence? I kind of doubt it, because for one, the main reason I doubt that is because you're too well studied. And I don't think somebody who just does this for a job to horseshoe in Christians to get them bound up is going to be that well studied and have a good understanding of God's Word such as you have. That being said, I feel the reason that you behave and act differently sometimes, or let some things get to you, in this case, you Sis Bets, is a spirit problem. And I'm not going to keep hammering the spirit of Jezebel, because that just closes the door to thought when anybody hears that name, which is by design, I believe, by all the info about it on the net going both ways. But let's just say spirit. Take Jezebel out of the equation, and let's just say that I think it's spirit driven. I think when Bets flies off the handle, I think the same thing. I think it's spirit driven. I think when I do the same thing at times, it's the same thing. It's spirit driven. You know, if we do good and we do well, we say, well, that's the Spirit of God helping us. And we can accept the fact that we're being influenced by the Spirit of God. But we always seem to have trouble to accept the fact that we're being influenced by a bad spirit when we're doing bad or when we're having troubles functioning with one another. We never want to say that it's because of a spirit. But we have no problem saying that when we're doing good, it's because of a spirit, which would be the Spirit of God. So I just wanted to reiterate to you that I do think we're having a spiritual problem on this board, as well as people throughout the world. I think we're being attacked by spirits. I think that pit is open. I think that pit is open through the doors of prayers and conjuring. And I think these things are roaming the earth, inhabiting people, and having influence and giving trouble to people, especially, you know, people who seek in the truth of God. I just wanted to say that, you know, personally, I love you both very much. I've learned a lot of things from both of you, and I've studied for both of you a long time now. And I hate to always be like, you know, kind of stuck in the middle. I get PMs from both of you, as well as everybody else, or a lot of other people. And, you know, being the keeper of the board is kind of like, being almost like a referee at times, and at great pain sometimes to me personally. But I accept that. I always have, and that's why I'm kind of sort of having a tougher skin these days, and I'm kind of don't let it get to me as on a personal level, because after a while, you know, this shit gets old, and you get tired of being, you know, personally stressed and strained, which I guess is probably one of the biggest reasons why we're all here, to grow some thicker skin, that these types of things won't cause us too much dissension. That being said, my advice to both of you is every time something should come up, every time something should come up on the board that you feel like there should be dissension or retaliation, or you open your mouth and let something come out, just think in your mind, would Jesus do this? Would Jesus say this? Because at the end of the day, that's all we really have, is this transformation that God gives us through Jesus Christ. I want to end this video and start over, but I don't guess I will, because no matter how many times I try to record this, it's going to come out the same. Jesus is the only thing that we have, this transformation. If we don't enact on that and use that in our daily vocation with each other, then we're using another spirit. It could be a spirit of self, could be a spirit of dissension, a spirit of murder, could be a spirit of all these horrible things that spirits affect daily throughout our lives. And if we're not using the Spirit of Christ, then we're most likely going to end up in dissension and have an unfavorable friendship with our brothers and sisters. I do the same thing myself. I'm trying to get better at it, and I just would feel better if I voiced my opinion as to what I think is going on. It's a spirit thing. We're vessels. God puts in us what spirits He wills, and we take in spirits what we will. We have free will, and we can take in a good spirit or a bad spirit, or whatever we choose. And we are in this vast river, and this river is composed of spirit itself. The waters are a likeness for the many multitudes. These boisterous waters, they're boisterous because they have voices. They're individual. They are mixed up and made of, composed of billions upon billions of individuals, as the water is made up of molecules. So this river of life is made up of billions and billions of entities. And it's up to us what we do in these waters. Christ told us that if we're going to walk and tread on top of these waters, if we're going to walk on them, which I perceive as meaning tread on, if we're going to tread on top of these waters and they have power over them, we're going to have to rise above them, and we're going to have to keep our eyes on Christ. And if we can't do that, we're going to end up in dissension. As a personal note to both of you, again, I love you both, and I hate to see all the dissension and all the harsh crap and personal jabs and things that are designed by these spirits to keep us in a state of disarray. And that was my advice to you. That's all I can say about that. And I hope that everybody remains cool, calm, and collected, and considers and edifies the things that we put up for consideration and edifying on this whole house. And I hope everybody is in His love. Okay, people of Earth, that's my video. Adios.